Hi, I'm Isabella, a Marketing and Experience Intern with EV Construction. As we celebrate 80 years of building in and around Holland, Michigan, we're highlighting some of the legacy projects that helped shape our story. Today we're visiting here at the Holland Streetscape and Snowmelt, a place where EV's impact is still felt. Today I'm here with...
Mike Novakoski, President and CEO.
Awesome, great. Do you want to just start off by telling us a little bit about where we are and what this project was?
Well, we are in downtown Holland, and there was a visionary whose name was Ed Prince, and he said, you know, we have this wonderful source of energy from our power plant that has this hot water that the cooling side of the power plant generates a lot of hot water. He said, I think that we could reuse it by putting a snow melt system. And people thought, what in the world is snow melt? You know, we're gonna place a system underneath the street. When the snow falls, that there'll be enough heat generated from this loop of massive amount of hot water that it's just free, basically, to use, and we'll melt the snow, and we'll create a space that feels not summer-like in the middle of a Michigan winter, but to a point where people will want to be downtown in a unique environment. And some of what was happening at the time back in the 80s was there was this mall being developed on the north side of Holland called West Shore Mall. And you had these store owners here on A Street, which when you look at A Street, it's very, very similar. The store frontages are the same, maybe different businesses, but they became very fearful that the big mall that became ubiquitous to the United States back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, they were fearful that they would be destroyed. So part of the belief was that the business owners looked at an Ed Prince, a visionary, and said, if we do this, will they stay? Not if you build this, will they come? And so the idea was the community is going to invest in this vision that Ed had in bringing Snowmelt in, which was then a very destructive, reconstructive project that said we got to gut everything from wall to wall. So no more public for almost a year. We gutted the road, we took all the sidewalks out, and everything had to be recreated, right down to the dirt, and then putting in all these loops of pipe. So under multiple blocks here, about on 12-inch centers, are loops of hot water piping that in the winter are actively running. And when you come down here, it's a beautiful, magical place, especially during Christmas time when you see the Christmas lights and not a lick of snow on this street, yet you walk one block over and there's a foot of snow.
Right. Now, what role did you personally play on the project, and what do you remember most vividly about your experience?
Well, I think I was scared to death because I literally just started at the company, and we were likely halfway done with the project when I started. And I happened to start as an estimator, and they said, we have a contract with a bricklayer or a paver, and it's a square foot contract. So we agreed to pay them X amount per square foot to put this brick that we're standing in down over the snow melt. And they said, your job is to help manage the quantity that they are putting in. So now imagine young Mike, 37 years ago, running around with a tape measure and a blueprint and documenting that from that corner to this is 16 foot 9 inches. From here to here, it's this. And I have a radius here, and I have to use my math that I never thought I'd use in high school and college, geometry, and figure out what is the area with this radius. So I was given the task of completely documenting every square foot of the pavers that were in place so that we would pay them fairly for the pavers that they put down. So again, my role quietly was doing a small part, but then the team that EV had, the managers were all tasked with communication, high quality, fingers crossed that this thing's gonna work, that we got the right amount of flow of water and the right temperatures that we can make sure that we don't have any snow.
Looking back now, what's it like for you to walk through downtown Holland and knowing that you helped bring this vision to life?
I have a great amount of pride for EV's role in this project. You know, I still feel like I just had a really small bit part. But you know, when I walk the town, and I love the fact that our office is only a block or two away, and I can come down and shop, I can dine, I can meet people on a park bench, have a cup of coffee. In fact, this is one of my favorite corners. But you know, the pride of watching these trees mature that weren't here, the pride of seeing how well everything is performed. The shopkeepers, I think the way that they've owned their particular square footage of storefront and how they honor it, how it's used in the vibrancy of the Holland community in the winter, to see people running, like doing their jogging in the mornings or at night all year long, that people are driven or feel really called to come down to Holland for, you know, all elements, whether it's spring, summer, fall, winter, it doesn't matter. There's something cool happening down here, and the environment magically changes when Snowmelt turns on and Old Man Winter shows up and starts dumping the white stuff because it doesn't land here. Like we are somehow going up against Mother Nature and winning.
From downtown Holland to what's next, EV Construction is proud to keep building on 80 years of legacy. Follow us to see more of the projects and the people who continue to shape our story.